Hello everyone, this is Satyaprakash. Welcome to Coding Knowledge. In this session, we discuss on advanced select statement in SQL Server. So, before going through this session, please visit my last uh, session, that is unique key constraint in SQL Server. So you can get this URL link in my description section. Please visit to. Uh, so in this agenda, I would discuss uh, below details about the following points. So we discuss on, that is, what is select statement performance tips, and how to set duplicate values for specific column using distinct keyword, and how to filter records using where clause, and different operators and wildcard using where clause, and how to sorting rows in ascending and descending order, and the top keyword in SQL statement in select statement using SQL query, and how to use multiple conditions for filtering records using SQL Server, that is using and or operator. So let's flip to SQL Server. So I have few points there, so accordingly I will tell you about the describe everything about these points with syntaxes, so for better understanding. So first point is what is simple sample of SQL statement. So sample of select statement is, that is there is a syntax there. So I'll tell you, that is select star from, and table name is tbl person there. So that is the sample of select statement. So if you execute this, so you'll get the all the rows in the whatever the data is in the table, and with the column names, that is id, name, email, gender id, age, and int underscore age. So star means it returns all rows and columns. Okay, now we discuss on second point, that is, if you want select statement with all columns mentioned, then what to do. So for this, what I do is right click on the table name, that is tbl person, or whatever you want the table want, and script table as, then select to option, then new query editor window. So what it will do is it writes query for us automatically. Okay, so that's all about the second point. So in our third point is describe the details of the select statement, what we have the learned in my previous point. So here SatyaDB is nothing but the name of the database name, and ID is the name of the column name. It is the name is the column name, email is the column name, gender ID is the column name, age is the column name, and int underscore is the column name. And DBO means it is database object, it is a schema, and tbl person is nothing but it is a table name. So that is all about the point 3. So let's talk about the point 4. What are the advantages of write select statement with fully qualified name? For example, if in available database drop down, that is this one, drop down list, the default database name is selected as master. If you selected the database name as master, or by default at the time of opening your SQL Server Management Studio, if it's selected as master, but you want to see records of TBL person table of SatyaDB database, that is the TBL person. So it can be possible using using select statement with fully qualified name. So I'll tell you how it is possible. So if you do that, I'll open another new query window here. So I want to write query that is select ID, name and email, gender ID, age, int underscore age, from that is name of the database, that is in a bracket we will mention that is a name of our database, that is SatyaDB, and dot schema I will mention DBO, and dot table person I want to retrieve data from table person. So if you execute this, see here it returns all the rows. So this is called the fully qualified name, that is the database name, and this is the schema, and this is the table name. But if you don't mention the fully qualified name and the master database or any other database name is selected here, and your required database name is not selected, and if I not mention the fully qualified name, then see what happens. So I just remove this database name and the schema if you only mention the TBL person here, and here if you see the select database name is selected as master instead of SatyaDB database, because TBL person table name is created in the SatyaDB database. So if you selected here, execute this, you see here that is invalid object name TBL person is not found in the database name, that is master database. Okay, now go to the next point. So if you don't mention the fully qualified name and the master database or any other database name is selected in available database, then the error message will be found, and here that select the TBL person table is not, it is a invalid object name for selected database, that is master database. Okay, now our next point is let's understand the distinct rows using select statement. So I'll show you using a syntax, that is select star from TBL person. I want to select as a data source my database name here. So I mentioned the table name TBL person here, and I want to use distinct keyword, that is INCT, and distinct keyword apply distinct name. So if you execute this, so that's all about the data using distinct keyword. So here duplicate values are removed for the name column. So if you see here, that is select star from TBL person table, if you check here in the name column, that is Ram, Prakash is here 2 times, another one is Dev, another one is Rohit, another one is Shailendra. So except Prakash, all other names have been repeated once, but Prakash has been repeated twice. So for remove the duplicate values from name column, you should use the distinct keyword for this specific column name. So for remove this duplicate values, that is Prakash, from name column, I use that is distinct keyword for name column here. So if you execute this, you'll see Prakash name only shown here once instead of twice. So that's all about the distinct keyword. So distinct keywords here, duplicate values has been removed from the name column. Okay, now you go to the point number 6. So let's distinct name and email of TBL person. So here I want to implement distinct keyword for two columns. So I'll tell you here distinct name and I mention email. If you execute this, so you'll see here duplicate values not be removed, and here shown twice, that is in the name column Prakash is showing twice, that is duplicate values not been removed here. So distinct means the value should be distinct across two columns, that is name and email. So it means if you apply the distinct keyword on any columns, if you distinct only name column, then it should the distinct only across one column, that is name. But here what I did here, I have applied distinct for two columns, that is name and email. So here what happens, the distinct has so what happens here, the value should be distinct across two columns. That's why based on the email, because email there is no duplicate value, that's why accordingly the name column is also showing twice, that is Prakash here. So distinct means the value should be distinct across two columns. So in the next I'll tell you where clause with operators and wildcards. So I'll show you the list in this presentation, in my presentation letter. So next point is let's filter records using name of TBL person using where clause with equal to operator. So I'll tell you how to do this. For this I'll write a query here, that is select star from TBL person where name equal to Prakash. So I just select as my required database name, and this is SatyaDB here. So if you select this query and execute this, it's showing only two rows, that is name columns Prakash. So this expression returns true or false. If it is true, then that record got selected from the result set, otherwise not. Okay, so that's all about this filter records with using name of TBL person using where clause with equal to operator. So let's go to my next point, that is filter records using name column of TBL person using where clause with not equal to operator. So let's understand using this query, that is instead of equal to, for not equal to, I just write this angle operator. It shows the not equal to operator using where clause. If you execute this, so it's shown the name values which instead of Prakash. So in name column it is shown this values of name column, that is Ram, Dev, Rohit and Shailendra. And another way also you can do this is just copy this statement, and instead of angle bracket, if you write the not equal to, that is exclamation and equal to, it is also another way to use the not equal to operator for filtering records using where clause. The same records, same results will be shown here. Instead of Prakash, it's shown the other name data here. So specially what happened, text values should be present in single quote. In single quotation you need to mention the text values or string values, but not required for numeric values. how it is possible. So I'll tell you using a query. So select star from TBL person and where gender ID is equal to 1. So here I did not mention the single quotation because it is a numeric value. So I need to execute this. Here it is showing that gender ID 1 value rows are there, that there is 2 rows are affected. So that's the result about gender ID equal to 1. So how to use where clause using two conditions? Here I only mentioned that is one condition, name and gender ID. So I want to use that is two conditions. So how it is possible? So select star from TBL person and where gender ID equal to 1 and name column equal to Rohit. If there is data there based on these two conditions, then the rows will be shown here. So I will execute this. See here, data is there for Rohit and for gender ID 1 and name is Rohit. So one record is there. So that's why one row is affected for this statement. Okay, now this is all about the point 8. So I will discuss about this point number 9. Let's filter records using in operator. So I will tell you what is in operator and how it is works. So there is one I will show you the result using select statement. So select star from TBL person where gender ID equal to gender ID in, this in operator, it is written like this 1 comma 3. So this means gender ID for 1 and for gender ID 3, the rows will be, if there is a record, so the records will be shown here. So I'll execute this. So there is 3 rows. For gender ID 1 it is 2 rows and for gender ID 3 it is 1 row there. So and also this query, there is an alternative query there. So gender ID equal to 1 or gender ID equal to 3. If you execute this, also you get the same result. But why we are using this in operator? Because this simplifies the length of SQL query using in operator there. So if you want this for another condition, that is or gender ID equal to 2 and if you execute this, see it returns the rows, but it's just length of the query are increased. If there is a multiple gender IDs there, instead of gender ID, if there is any IDs there, so there is multiple ID and unique ID there. If you and put or and multiple or with the condition, then it is a very affect the performance issue and also it increase the length of this query. So instead of I just using the in operator here, so within one single line it returns the same result as expected. Okay, that's the point about 9. So let's discuss about point number 10. So in point number 10, let's filter records using between operator. So in between operator, I'll tell you okay, now where select star from TBL person where int underscore age column between, that is 31 and 36. That means if this S column contains the value about between 31 to 36, so the rows will be shown here. So I'll just execute this. See here, between 31 to 36 there is 5 records: 31, 32, 36, 36 and 34. So between 31 to 36 the rows has been shown here, and 5 rows are affected using between keyword. So that is the functionality of between operator. So select star from TBL person where int underscore age between 31 to 36. So it returns the result set between whatever the age is between the 31 to 36, and their 5 rows are affected. So that's all about between operator. So let's talk about the next point, that is point number 11. So here, filter records using a like operator. So I'll show you using like operator how it is written using select statement. So select star from where name like, you just put the single quotation and what the name you want using a letter. So I want the name starts with R, so I want to write this R and percentile it. So name starts with R, the data will be shown here. So if you execute this, so name starts with R, it is shown here, Ram and Rohit. So it is percentile, percentile is a wildcard. So I'll show you using my presentation there. So there is a few definitions about wildcard, so I'll discuss later in this session. So here like operator will be written like this, that is you want the name column like, and in the single quotation you want the name you want, that is R, and percentile is nothing but it is a wildcard. So same way, if you want name ends with R, so I just put here, instead of remove this percentile, I'll mention here. So if you execute this, okay, there is no record, so I want to find another letter, that is M. So I want to execute this. See here, so name ends with M, record is 1 there, so that is Ram. So in this way I want, that is name with letter I in the name name column. That is, if you want I percentile I and another percentile, so it shows the rows name with letter I, even that is in from beginning, or that is starts with I, or starts with or ends with I, or between I. So it shows all the records which contains the letter I, which in the name column. See here, Rohit contains I and Shailendra name contains I letter there. So that's why there is 2 records. So this is the all about the like operator, how to name starts with R, and name start with a specific letter and ends with specific letter, and name inside the letter inside the name, even it is in between the name of multiple letters, or it be starts with or ends with or inside or between the letter of inside the name data. So here I already have described, that is where select star from table person where name like percentile I percentile. It means the I letter is found here Rohit, and I letter is found here Shailendra. Okay, so now let's discuss of my next point, that is let's filter records using not like operator. So how to use not like operator? You just mention here not. So select star from where name not like I. So this returns the result set which does not contain the letter I for the name column. So I'll execute this. So you can see here in the name column the letter I is not there. So that is the functionality about not like, name with no letter I. Okay, I just remove this one. Okay, so that's all about point number 12, that is how to implement not like operator. So next point is let's filter records using underscore operator. So let's filter records using underscore operator. How to do this using select statement. So select star from where name like, I'll put the single quotation here and underscore. Here I mention the name of this letter and underscore. So if you execute this, you see here that is one character after and before a. So this means the character or letter here you mentioned here name a, that means one character. Sorry, I just mentioned the not like, I would mention the like. Okay, so I want to execute again. Okay, so that means one character after the specified character and before one character and after one character. So that means the um, role of the underscore operator. So I mentioned here where name like single quotation underscore a and put another underscore here. So that means it shows the result set which contains the name using with a character which is before one character and after one character. So before one character and after one character. So here you see the result, that is RAM. So R is A is the middle, and before A that is one character, that is R, and after A that is one character is A. So that's all about. So here I mentioned A means A will be found here, that is before A that is one character and after A there will be another only one character there. That's why the name is selected as the result set as RAM. So I'll tell you another example here. So if you mention here E and execute this, so here I specified the letter is E. So before E there is one character and after E there should be another character. So name is selected as Dev. So here is E, before is one character, that is D, and after E there is one character, that is V. So that is all about underscore operator using where clause. So let's discuss on my next point, is point number 15, filter records using square bracket operator. So how to use the square bracket operator for filtering records using a select statement. So I'll tell you. So same statement I'll use select star from table person where name like. So I just put the single quotation here, square brackets, and I want the name starts with dr, character D, character R, and character S. I'll mention like this, put the percentile or any character you want. I just want to execute this. See here. So D RS is our requirement. So name starts with R is Ram, name starts with Dev, name starts with R is Rohit, name starts with D is Dev, name starts with S is Shailendra. So that is all about the aim of this statement. That is, you want the name like DRS starts with DRS, so using square brackets. So that is the syntax of this square brackets operator. Square brackets operator using select statement. So name starts with DRS. So if you want the name starts with character A and M, so you'll see the result here. That is, so there is okay, so there is no records. I want this character, that is name ends with, I want the name which ends with character A and character M. So I will mention this percentile A from the starting. So I will execute this. So if you see here, that is A, that is ends with A, that is Shailendra, and ends with M, that is Ram. So this statement shows that name ends with A and M. That's why two records has been shown here. So that's all about square bracket operator using square clause in a select statement. So let's discuss on my next point. So in next point we discuss on filter records using not in square bracket operator. So how it is possible? So if you want the filter records using not in square bracket operator, just mention that is same statement there, the mention inside, that is single quotation, mention the square bracket here DRS, and I want percentile here, and for not square bracket operator you just mention this symbol, this one, upper angle bracket. So if you just execute this, so that's the result, that is Prakash and Prakash. It does not contain name starts with DR and S. So name starts with DRS, so this specifies not in the list. So this symbol specifies not in the list. So that's all about not in square bracket operator. So let's discuss about our next point, filter records using multiple condition with and with or operator in where clause. So how to use multiple condition here? I'll show you using where clause in select statement. So here select star from table person where name like single quotation D, I mentioned the character D, and percentile, and I mention here, and int underscore age, it should be less than 90. If these two conditions are satisfied, then the results will be shown here, the rows will be affected. So I'll execute this, only one row is affected, that is Dev, and starts with D, and the int underscore age is less than 90, that is 38. Okay, now what I'll do is I want to show you that is multiple condition using where clause using both and or operator. So I'll show you select star from table person where name is name equal to Rohit, or name equal to, that is I'll show you Dev, and int underscore age is less than 90, and gender ID equal to 2. So I just put in the square bracket. So, sorry, I just put in the bracket here, not square bracket. So I'll execute this. So there is no record. So I just mention here 1. So there is 1 record is found. So this means I have used, that is, multiple condition using where clause, using and or operator in a select statement, using single select statement. So select star from where clause, name is Rohit or name is Dev. Only one condition should be satisfied, Rohit or Dev, and age should be less than 90 and gender ID should be 1. And here I mentioned the OR operator using name column for both the values. That's why I mentioned inside the bracket. And here I mentioned the age, and here I mentioned the gender ID. These two conditions are mandatory to satisfy, and this condition only one should be satisfied, Rohit or name. So after executing, the condition has been satisfied and one row is affected, that is Rohit, and gender ID 1, and int underscore age less than 90, that is 32. Okay, now discuss about, that is all about, that is how to use multiple condition in where clause using and or operator. So let's discuss on my next point, that is how to sorting the rows using order by clause. Okay, so how it is possible using select statement, that is select star from tbl person, where that is order by. Using order by, it is possible to ascending or descending order, name ascending ASC nothing but it is ascending order. So name is shown here in ascending order. So here, that is D, De, Prakash, Ram, Rohit and Shailendra. So name in ascending order. So if you want to name in descending order, that is from higher to lower, so that is ascending nothing but that is lower to higher, and descending is nothing but higher to lower. So descending, it is shown the name with higher to lower, that is first Shailendra, Rohit, Ram, Prakash, and last one D. So that's why that's about how to ascending and descending using order by clause. And another one is is it possible sort multiple rows with ascending and descending rows? Yes, it is possible. How it is possible, I'll show here. So select star from tbl person, so order by name descending, I mentioned the DSC, and I want the age column, that is India underscore age, as ascending order. So I want to execute this. So here you see I have implemented to sort the multiple rows with ascending and descending order. Here I mentioned that name should be in descending, that's why name column is it is in descending order, and India underscore age column, it is in ascending order, 31, 32, 34, 36, 36 and 38. So it is possible to sort multiple rows with ascending and descending order using order by clause in select statement. So that's all about how to sort the rows using order by clause, so in the select statement. So next one is how to learn top keyword using select statement. So I'll show you here. Okay, just remove this one. So how to use top keyword, select top 2 star from tbl person. So we can write like this using top keyword. So top keyword with all column values. So I'll execute this. So it returns top two values in this table. So that is Ram, another one is Prakash. So top keyword with selected column values, if instead of star, if you want selected column values, so I just mention top two name int underscore age, and okay, that's it. I want only one top two records using selected column values, that is name and age. So if you execute this, so here is Ram, Prakash, and int underscore is 34 and 36. Okay, now top keyword with percentage. So I want to show you this top one, and here for how to use percentage, percent %, I want to mention here star. So if you execute this, it shows the top 1% of the rows. So if you want top 60% of the rows, you just mention here, that is top 60. Select top 60% star from TBL person. So if you execute, then it returns top 60% of the rows. So there is 4 rows are affected. So that's all about top keyword with top n and top n percentage using select statement. So next point we will discuss. So in next point we'll discuss how to get old aged person using top keyword in select statement. So how it is possible? So it is possible, that is using top keyword, select top 1 star from FROM star from table name is TBL person, order by int underscore age is descending. So it shows the age, that is the 38, because it is age should it is the greater value of 38 age, so that's why it's shown the 38, that is select top 1 star from TBL person, order by int underscore DSC. So in this way we can retrieve the old age person using select statement and top keyword using order by clause. Okay, that's all about how to get the old age person using top keyword in select statement. So we'll discuss about the last and final point, that is how to get young aged person using top keyword in select statement. So it is possible, that is select top 1 star from TBL person, order by int underscore age, instead of DSC I just mentioned the ASC, that is ascending order. So if you execute this, so it returns that is 31, because it is the 31 is it is the lower value in the int underscore age column. So that's why it returns, that is int underscore age, the 31 is the younger age. So it is nothing but, if you execute only this part, so it returns, that is select the 34. So if you mention this order by int underscore age ASC, so it returns, that is younger age result. Okay, now I just describe this sentence and describe this select statement with details. Select star from order by age, here mention this table name TBL person here. So if you execute this, what happen here, see in ID is 9, Shailendra is there, so int underscore int underscore age is ascending order, that's why first row is 31. So top one, if you execute this top one is there, so it returns the first result set. So if you execute this, so it returns the 31, int underscore age 31. So like this, if you mention here descending, the first top one result is 38, because as row is this descending order, so more that is greater, that is higher to lower, so that's why int underscore age first top row is 38. So if you change here DAC, so if you execute this, so top one returns row is int underscore age column is 38 value. So that's why we can get the old aged person and young aged person using top keyword in select statement. So that's all about, guys, about the SQL syntaxes and the practical implementation. Let's flip to my presentation for few definitions which can be very useful for your interview preparations, and you can take it as a theoretical part. So let's flip to my presentation part. So select statement performance tips. So for better performance, use the column list instead of star. So select star from table name instead of star. You should mention the select name comma int underscore age from table person. What the syntax is there? Select statement syntax is select column list from table name, select star from table name, and select column list from table name where filter condition you want to apply. For example, where int underscore age less than 90. So here are few operators and wildcards which we have a discussion on practical implementation of using where clause for implementation of operators and wildcards in select statement. So here are operators, that is and purposes I mentioned here. So equal to, not equal to, or angle bracket you can use for not equal to, and equal to for equal to operator, and for it is for greater than, and another one is for greater than equal to, and less than or equal to operator. Specify a list of values, that is in operator. Specify a range, that is using between operator. Specify a pattern using like operator. Not in a list, range, etc. using not operator. You can mention in using not like or not in operator also. And here you can see here, that is percentile is nothing but operator as well as a wildcard. So it specifies 0 or more characters. Underscore, it specifies exactly one character. And square brackets, any character within the brackets. And square bracket in with null, with not, that is not any character within the brackets. So that's all about the operators with as well as wildcard details. You can follow this for getting the better results. So this is my YouTube channel, Coding Knowledge. You can subscribe, like, and share, and get the up-to-date knowledge on .NET Core, Angular, MVC, SQL Server, Azure Data Factory, and Power BI, and reporting tool as SSRS and IDLC. You can get all the idea on technology in this Coding Knowledge channel. So in the last and final part is summary. So we have learned, that is below details, how to use select statement, and how to increase the performance of select statement, and second one is how to remove the duplicate values for specific columns using distinct keyword, and filter records or source records using where clause, different operators and wildcards using where clause, and how to sort the rows in ascending and descending order using order by clause, and how to use top n and top n percentage keyword in select statement, and how to use multiple condition for Python records using where clause. And in a single select statement it is possible we can use that is and or operator. So that's all about, guys. So that's it for today. Thank you for listening and have a great day.